Calgary was rated one of the most livable places in the world. Is it as good as people actually say it is, or is there better places to live in Canada? In this video, I'm going to be highlighting that topic and seeing is Calgary a better place to live, or is Kelowna, British Columbia? What's going on, people of the world? It's Russ the Realtor here, and I'm super pumped to bring you this video because it seems like I get a ton of people who are interested in Calgary and Kelowna. Me personally, I'm a licensed realtor here in Kelowna, so I help people move from Calgary to Kelowna, but I always seem to get a ton of clients and a ton of people that are debating between the two, which city's gonna be better to live in, and Calgary ranks very, very high on the livability scale for a number of different reasons, and it is a great place to live, but Kelowna seems to be the place to be where we get a ton of people that move to Calgary, stay there for a period of time, and then end up moving to Kelowna. Let's dive into it and see what city's going to be best for you. First, let's talk about lifestyle differences. Kelowna and Calgary are quite different in a number of different factors, but let's highlight the main different lifestyle reasons, because this seems in today in the 20th century, most people are more about the lifestyle than other opportunities. Kelowna is a four-season playground and is named for all the outdoor activities that you can do all year round. And it seems the people that always move here live a very active lifestyle or are wanting to adopt a very active lifestyle. So I get a ton of people that end up retiring out here to enjoy the outdoors more, and because the weather is a lot milder climate than it is in Calgary. The other part about the lifestyle is you can relatively get anywhere in Kelowna in less than 30 minutes. So you can, in order to live in a part of the city and venture all the way to the other end of the city for whatever reasons. Where in Calgary, wherever you live tends to be the hubs, and that's what you stick to. So your neighborhood, you do pretty much every single thing that you're supposed to do, your daily life, you do that in your neighborhood. Now let's transition to the Calgary lifestyle, with it being one of the most livable places because of its opportunities. It has so many different opportunities in literally every single industry that is offered out there, and really puts a great place for people to start their career, advance their careers, or whatever stage that you are in your professional life. So that really is something that people go to Calgary for, and there's other reasons too that I'll get to in this video. But one thing you gotta question is that damn cold Alberta winter. Me personally, I live very close to Calgary, about 2.5 hours away in a town called Medicine Hat, Alberta, and I grew up there my whole life. And I wanted to move out of Alberta into Kelowna for the milder climate was something huge for me. I wanted to escape that cold winter. So this puts me into a nice position to talk about the next point, is the weather difference. So I already alluded to that Kelowna is definitely superior with the milder climate. One knock that I do hear from people that come out here is the summertime. It is very hot. But for me and for all the people that I know that want to come out here and live that outdoor lifestyle and adopt that style of living, you want the heat. And that's what you're coming here for. But I do know some people, they believe it is a little bit too hot in the summertime. So this is personal preference. Or say if you do go to Calgary, Calgary has a really nice summer where it's not too hot, but you do get some heat, a lot of sunshine, but you do get that terrible winter. So it's really up to you what you want to do. The nice part about here in Kelowna is you have so many access to skiing and snowboarding that's at a nice cool climate temperature in order for you to enjoy, where if you're in Calgary, you got to commute to the Banff area in order to go skiing and snowboarding, which is a lot colder climate, but those hills and those resorts are absolutely amazing too as well. Another thing that would be a knock towards Kelowna in terms of its lifestyle would be the winter haze that sets over Kelowna, just from the moisture from the lake. We do get a quite gray sky, not a ton of sunlight. So I do know this can bother some people who are used to getting a lot of sunlight all year round. I know for me, this is personally the thing that I don't like about Kelowna and is the biggest knock in my realm. I do love the sunshine all year round. So then moving from Alberta, and especially Medicine Hat that had a ton of sunlight all year round, to coming to Kelowna, it was a little bit of an adjustment. Just got to make sure you're getting some vitamin D and making sure that you're going out and doing what you can in order to get exposed to that sunlight. But just so for everyone that's aware, this is a knock in terms of the milder climate. The winter does have that haze. The next big difference is going to be population size. So in Kelowna, you got about 156,000, and then West Kelowna is around 35,000 people. between the two cities. So you got about a combined total of a little bit less than 200,000, where in Calgary, you have that population of over 1.6 million. So you go from a relatively decent sized city to a massive city, one of the biggest in Canada. So that can be some of a concern both ways for people, like I was talking about in terms of lifestyle. Calgary is going to have a lot more opportunities for jobs and some of those bigger corporate jobs, just because these bigger cities tend to have that. Where Kelowna, you know what I mean, with the smaller population, is not going to be as fast paced as Calgary, but it is really making a name for itself now and being voted one of the top tech places in Canada, and slowly taking over just for all the people that are immigrating here, with Kelowna having the second highest immigration in Canada currently. So leaning a little bit harder into that more opportunity, this was a bit of a surprise when I was comparing wages. Yes, Calgary is going to have a lot more opportunities, a different diversity in terms of jobs, and on every single level of job opportunity is going to be out there. You can literally climb the ladder from, you know what I mean, starting out all the way up to the highest positions without having to ever relocate, which is a very big pro for people wanting to raise a family in the same neighborhood. But when we actually compare wages, it's not as high or far ahead as Kelowna as you think it would be. The average salary in Calgary is sitting at $70,000, where in Kelowna it's at $68,000. So before I was researching this video, my initial assumption was going to be that Calgary was going to have a way higher average wage than, say, Kelowna, but this tended not to be the case. And so then my next point in the discussion is Calgary or Kelowna better, is going to be real estate prices. And this is clearly where Calgary is the massive favorite in terms of what the cost of real estate prices are in terms of affordability and being able to buy a home. Kelowna real estate prices, if you're looking at buying a single family, you're going to be spending $1,050,000 to get an average single family home. Townhouses have an average price of $767,000, and condos come in at an average price of $516,000 in the Kelowna market. Now let's compare that to Calgary. An average single family home is $637,000, townhouses are $390,000, and condos come in at $298,000, just shy of $300,000. So when you're comparing those apples to apples in terms of real estate prices, Calgary is the clear winner on that front. Would love to know in the comments below which place you think would be better to live in. Would Kelowna be the best place for you, or are you more in favor of Calgary? And then for the people that are actually looking to purchase real estate in the Kelowna or Calgary market, you can book a call with me in the description above. I can help you out and point you in the right direction to see if Kelowna or Calgary is going to be the best place for you to purchase a home. Now, another big deciding factor for people on where they live is cost of living. You've really seen a transition of people more in favor of lifestyle. And for me personally, I know I relocated to a way more expensive place like Kelowna for opportunities and for the lifestyle changes. But I really do hope a lot of people put this in perspective and are still really considering the cost of living, because this can be a really big game changer for people in terms of when they're able to retire and how they live their everyday lives. So let's break down the cost of living and which one's going to be most favorable. So the average cost of living a person in Calgary spends around $4,000 a month in order to live. So this does sit relatively high on the scale of what the Canadian average is going to be. But if we were to compare that to Kelowna, where an average person spends $4,600 to live in Kelowna. So you have about a $600 difference right there on your cost of living. You add that up over 10 years or even a year, that's around $7,000, you know what I mean, a year in saving just on cost of living. And this can be a huge thing just for people in order to actually save, because you want to be shooting for that 10% of your gross income in order to save for retirement. And if you were to live in a place like Calgary, you already have an upper hand because your cost of living is going to be down. So that's where, like I was talking to at the start there, that I do believe a lot of people should factor this in and just really realize what your goals are going to be and what type of life you want to live. But we really saw this transition in the 20th century where more people were in favor of living the lifestyle, not having as much savings, spending more money on daily cost of living in order to live the daily lifestyle that they want. So this is a personal preference and up to you, but just want to make sure you have all the facts and so you can make the best decision for your future. So my next topic is going to be where a lot of people think that Calgary has the upper hand. but just from my feedback from people that I've helped relocate from Calgary to Kelowna and my personal experience from living in Alberta and very close to Calgary for a while, this is where I think that Kelowna has the upper hand, even though a lot of people would say Calgary, just because of its population and everything that typically comes to the city, would be better off. That is going to be entertainment and things to do. Most certainly, Calgary does have the upper hand in terms of infrastructure and all the things that go there. Like you have the Calgary Stampede, you have the Calgary Flames, you have the Saddle Dome, you get a lot of concerts, there's big country festival events that come out there. You have the Calgary Zoo, you have the Calgary Tower, and plenty of different restaurants, and a really nice downtown core for going out and living the nightlife. So we have all these big ticket items really in Calgary. And the reason why I think Kelowna has the upper hand on things to do in entertainment is a lot of the daily things that you do out here in this area are free and things that you can do every single day, where these are just an event that come once a year. Don't get me wrong, they're incredibly fun, but for those people really adopting that lifestyle, you're more about being able to do the daily activities that you want instead of just going to one big event a year. So the Kelowna things to do are obviously the lake, you know what I mean, the weather, boating. The big reason why a lot of people come out here in the summer is so incredibly busy is because you do have this beautiful beaches all the way around Kelowna and so many different lakes located in Kelowna and the surrounding area. You got an amazing hiking and biking trails right in your backyard. You can just literally hop on your bike wherever you're staying and hit a trail. You got all the wineries. We have so many different wine trails and all the people that come here. It's a really nice thing to do on a weekend. If you're just looking to kill some time, you can go for a quick wine tasting, go for some lunch, and then you can hit the beach after or go hiking, whatever your personal preference is. But the wineries seem to be a huge plus for a lot of people. Go along with, we have so many different amazing restaurants, a lot of these boutique local restaurants that are absolutely amazing. Kelowna is hitting it out of the park for all the restaurants that they have here. And then last but not least is all the orchard and fruit farming and just farming that we have around on the small scale here in the Kelowna area. So this can be a nice little outing with the family or yourself, where you go out and pick your own fruits and veggies. Some of these orchards and farms do have that ability where you get to go out and pick it yourself, and it's quite unique and a good thing to do on the weekend for sure. As we've gone through this video, I know I'm super biased because I moved to Kelowna from Alberta and think that Kelowna is the place to be, but I wanted to give you an honest and totally open perspective on comparing Calgary to Kelowna, because I get so many people who are looking at both places in order to stay or move to. So this video is going to be a great resource for those people who are undecided and can see firsthand which one's going to be more in favor of them. And it just comes down to what your life goals are going to be and how you want to actually live your lifestyle. And then for all the people that are still on the fence and looking and thinking that Kelowna is going to be the place to be, you're going to want to watch this video next, where I go over the pros and cons and give you a totally honest opinion on what it's like to actually live in Kelowna. You're going to want to tune into this video here